Greetings and salutations. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gamersledge Podcast, episode 330, Friendship in a Minecraft Dungeon. It is May 29th, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, and joining me, we have the entire crew out and about tonight. Starting to my right, the man who is not clipping into the background, it's Keegan.
Hello.
And then next to him, not wearing his blanket fort. I mean, the last few times you've had a blanket, like it was a shawl over you, so I'm not sure what to say about that. It's Mitchell.
Hello.
Oh, you have pops behind you. They're going to attack you in your sleep and kill you. I hope you know. Creepiest things ever made.
We'll
and
see.
Then joining us from the blast zone, it appears, is Matt.
Howdy.
You are replacing Keegan this evening. And by the way, I have to say, just as a point of fact, if you look at Dave in the intro, he is standing in front of a closet. Mitchell is sitting in front of a television set. And I don't remember what I'm doing, but it's not super involved either. And you, on the other hand, had props. And you were flying them around, and you had stacked comic books on the table. So that's commitment. I'm appreciative of that level of commitment there. And then, of course, last but not least, he's drinking. It's Dave.
Just want to share my new glass.
What's your new glass?
You can't see it?
But what is it?
It's a whiskey glass that's shaped like the Mario block.
I was asking because it was a question mark to me, so I was just.
It's the Mario block. Because I'm a geek. I'm a geek who likes whiskey. Why is Mark's little kid on the podcast?
I see what you did there. So you see, we had a heat wave over the last 3 days in San Francisco. It's been like 85 degrees for 3 days here. And that doesn't sound very hot, but 85 here is like 105 anywhere else. And so
you had to shave your face for that?
It was so hot. And I had pandemic beard. Because I've been trying to grow one out, so...
Okay, all right, now it makes sense.
Yeah, just got rid of the whole thing.
I was just trying to say, that's like... You're like in full-on survival mode.
It's like once per year, once per 2 years is probably actually closer to the truth. I will shave it off, but generally I don't do it when I have things to do, because I don't even like myself without a goatee. So... And as I was saying before we started on there, the wife won't kiss me, so it's all good. We'll just wait till it grows back in. We have lots to discuss. Lots of news, lots of interesting tidbits. We might go through some friendships and rate them from Mortal Kombat Aftermath, since everybody has a friendship now. But let's start by going around the room and see what everybody's been up to in the last 2 weeks since the last podcast. Keegan, let's start with you.
Okay, so mostly
school.
Kingdom Hearts, and I finally beat Xehanort in the DLC, just to come up against the last boss, the final boss for the DLC, which. Not sure whether I should say who it is or not, so
No,
I
shouldn't.
won't. Okay. Then I have been I babysat my cousin for 2 days this weekend. So while there, I played Wii Resort, I think it is. So yeah.
Like on an actual Wii?
Yeah.
So this is not in the news feed, but did you know that in Japan they are selling Wiis for $1?
Really?
Wii's and DS's for $1.
Like
Kinda
they
crazy.
were old DSs?
No, like brand new DS's and Wii's for
No,
$1.
like new 3DS or just the old
No,
DS?
just the DS's,
Okay.
not 3DS.
So like, okay, so like, does that mean 2DS or are we talking the old DS?
I tell you what, you keep talking, Keegan, and I'll find it for Dave.
Okay. Then what else did I do? Oh yeah, I've been watching some anime. I watched an anime called Owari no Seraph. Then after I finished watching the anime, I read through all the manga that I have access to. So, yeah, that was 80 chapters worth of manga I read since last time. At least 75 pages each. Sure, they're mostly picture, but then just yesterday a bunch of my manga updated, so I was reading a bunch of that yesterday. Anything else? Do you guys remember if I've done anything else?
I mean, you played some Rocket League, but
Oh yeah, I did play some Rocket League. Mhm.
While
Did
I'm
someone else?
reminded of this because you brought up Rocket League, there is a good YouTube video where a guy baits toxic players in to go 1v1 with him on Rocket League and then has a Rocket League pro standing by that takes over the account whenever he goes to do the 1v1s and then shuts them up from being toxic. It's pretty good. So
Yeah,
it's on YouTube.
I'm low enough tier that I don't come across many of the toxic players, so that's pretty nice. There was one person who was kind of toxic, but for the most part, when I play, most of the people are pretty friendly.
Yeah, and that toxic person was your dad, so you can't do a whole lot. I get it.
Nah. I think that's about it. I've read my manga, kept up on the anime I've been watching. Yeah.
Okay, so to answer your question, it is a PS2 for $2.20, a DS Lite for $1.10, and a Wii for 55 cents.
Nice.
that's bizarre.
Yeah.
All these things talk about the fact that they're doing it, but apparently nobody's asked them why they're doing it. So
They
all these
probably
news stories just talk about, hey, you can go to this retailer and get it here, but nobody's asked them why they're selling them that cheap.
They probably just had some backlog and were like, let's get rid of this.
I find it hard to believe that there's a warehouse of Wii's sitting around somewhere.
You never know.
Mitchell, how about you? What have you been up to?
An egregious amount of Final Fantasy 14.
So you've not finished Final Fantasy VII original.
I have not. Nope.
Which means you have not played remake then, right?
I have not. I'm still exactly where I was before. Regrettably.
Is someone forcing you to play Final Fantasy 14? Do you need help?
No. No, I am doing it of my own free volition.
Okay. No, Volition's a different. This is Square Enix. Volition's a different company.
But I actually did fire up Wild Arms today.
And do tell.
It's a good game. I really enjoy Wild Arms.
And Matt's like, I'm gonna give him his allowance this week.
Because I had throws ever. because the problem is I had almost finished it on our other PS3, but it died and I lost my entire save file. So I'm having to start from the ground up. And also, Jack and Handpan, best characters in the game, no competition.
Definitely Handpan. Can't go wrong with the windmills.
Otherwise, been watching some Bleach. Yo, you need to mute, brother.
Okay.
That's where the echo is coming from. I thought I was just hearing you from downstairs.
No. Yeah, I've watched some Bleach. I played some Wild Arms this morning. Final Fantasy 14. I played a little bit of Jump Force to play with Todoroki because they added Todoroki to the Jump Force roster, and he is bruiser. His damage is outrageous. But besides the point. Yeah, I think that's been about it.
Is it really bad that I was going to ask him if it was Gem and the Holograms level of outrageous? Truly outrageous? Wow, Dave must be in the most mellow drinking state we've ever had him on the show. I did not get a response from a Gem and the Holograms callback. That's amazing.
I was just letting it happen.
This must be that new mellow yellow whiskey.
Yeah.
It is actually, it's the Tullamore Dew cider cask finish, which is a current favorite of mine.
Now I have to ask. I know you do the Tullamore Dew on the regular. Do you ever go for the Bushmills?
Oh dear, we almost got a spit take there.
Oh yeah, that was. No, Bushmills is now on the ban list after an infamous holiday party that my friends and I had. So my college friends, we always get together, guaranteed on an annual basis, all of us together for a Christmas party. And one year, somebody brought over Bushmills. I forget who at this time.
It was Dave.
And no, it wasn't me. I think it might have been my friend's wife. I mean, my friend's. No. I forget exactly who bought it. But we had it. It was okay. But then my one buddy whose house we were at proceeded to get as the sickest he's ever gotten in his life. To where it was like hilariously awkward as we were like trying to leave, and he was just like stuck in a bathroom, and we were like, what do we do? So we were just like, hey buddy, you okay? And he's just like, yeah, fine, and then we hear so Bushmills is officially on the ban list for me and my friends.
See, I don't drink whiskey in general, but when I went to the Bushmills factory. Nice. And when they do the tour, they give you these tiny little tasters. And I'm like, oh, they're going to give us 5 or 6 of these tasters as you tour the factory. No, they give you one every 5 steps, 6 steps. So by the time you're done, you are just completely hosed. And then they enter you into a drawing to win a duty-free, if you're from the United States or overseas, a duty-free cask of Bushmills to take home with you. I did not win that, but I did go to the Blarney Stone directly after and kissed it upside down while I was drunk. Not something I'd necessarily recommend for everybody.
Yeah, you shouldn't kiss that thing at all because the locals piss on it.
Well...
Or was that something you didn't know before you kissed it?
I didn't know that before I kissed it.
Yeah.
I heard things after. But I didn't care. It was the Blarney Stone. What are you going to do?
Not just look at it. Not kiss it.
Matt, Are you actually sitting in a blast zone? What's going on there?
Oh, this is concept art from Mandalorian.
Oh, well, we couldn't see the Mandalorian, so it just looked
Right,
like
he's
you were
behind
sitting
me.
in a hole.
Well, I'm trying to keep the copyright, police at bay.
If images are fine, it's just the music. Excuse me.
And video, and yeah, God knows what else. So let's see. I finished season 5 of She-Ra, so that show is now officially done.
Were you happy with the fact that she wasn't in it, or the way they resolved that? I guess is the better question.
I'm happy with the way the She-Ra story plot line was resolved. There was a bunch of fan servicey stuff at the end that I could have done without personally, but didn't, wasn't bad. It just was. But as far as the whole actual story arc of what She-Ra is in that version and what the stuff was, yeah, I was satisfied with it. And the animation quality continued to be highly erratic. Whoever the animation studio was, they have no idea about the concepts of squish and stretch. The distortion at angles and when people would turn their heads and stuff was just bizarre. But it was the worst with Swiftwind. Nobody bothered to look at the pictures of horses while they were drawing Swiftwind. So it was very weird.
For some reason, Ken thinks the Mandalorian had an actual Yoda in it instead of a baby Yoda in it. He said, "Awesome show the Mando was."
Yes, I've actually something I didn't put on my list here, but I also watched the first 3 episodes of the behind the scenes, which is actually really good because in the first episode, I don't think this was part of what they intended to do, but Dave Filoni just starts going on a deep lore dive and they just keep shooting and just keep letting him go.
Nice.
And you're just like,
I need to watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
This guy knows more about Star Wars and his pinky than I've known for my entire life. This is insane. This guy's level of dedication to Star Wars. But it's pretty awesome. But you've got Favreau basically hosting it. They brought in all the different directors, so to see all the different directors and how they drew on each other, and they weren't just there for their episodes. Some of them were there in the other episodes too. So there was while each of their own styles was intact and different, there was overlap and togetherness there. So, and basically, Favreau and Filoni were there for everything. So. Because he's like, actually, that shoulder pad should be on the left shoulder because it was worn by the, and he would just go off on weird, super geeky shit. But
so he's the Jeff Johns of Star Wars, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's arguable whether he or George knows more about Star Wars.
It's him. It's him.
And yeah, it's definitely him.
So, yeah,
I have one word for you, Jar Jar Binks. It's definitely not George.
I read what George wanted to do for the post quills.
Post quill.
Sequels.
Post quills.
Post quills.
7, 8, 9.
Would it just be sequels?
I think so.
It would.
That probably would have made more sense.
I got what you were saying.
Yeah, I appreciate you rolling with it. That's oddly nice of you.
I just kind of sat here and let it happen.
Nice.
It's all
But that whole microscopic world of the wills thing. Ugh, did you read any of that? Did you read that?
I read a couple of highlights and yeah.
Oh my god.
That's kind of like the sequels to the Matrix, which don't exist. But yeah.
Well, actually, that's not 100% true because explosions were in the city a couple months ago. It will exist.
Well, no,
soon.
I know. I'm the joke. There's only one Matrix movie.
Yeah. It's a shame they never made sequels because
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
I liked
It looked-
2. I know I'm in the minority, but I liked 2.
2 is good compared to 3.
Yeah, I liked parts of them. I actually watched the trilogy a little while ago. Like I had like insomnia for a couple nights, and I just like ran through them. I think I ran through it like all in one night. And there was like parts I really loved about the other 2 movies.
Oh yeah, there's good stuff in there.
But man, they really just hosed a lot too.
That movie is probably fully responsible for my no spoiler rule, because someone spoiled me on the whole premise before I even saw it.
Oh, that's weak.
Oh, I really wanted to punch them. I did not, but I wanted to.
I remember that was a movie I didn't
I
actually.
didn't even know what it was really.
Yeah, I didn't know either. A buddy of mine saw it like the first week, and for whatever reason, like we always saw movies like the opening weekend, and for whatever reason, like I wasn't able to go or something like that. And he went and he came back and he was just like, "Dude, you're going with me next week to this movie." He's like, "I'm paying for your ticket." That's how much, that's how I feel about this movie. And I'm like, all right, how good could this thing be? And I just remember like after that movie, and I'm like, he was like, you don't have to, he goes, I'll tell you what, you don't have to pay for your ticket if you didn't like it. And I just, as soon as the credits started rolling, I was like, I can't even lie, dude. I'm paying you for that ticket. Like it's not worth the fight.
It is my second highest viewed movie in the movie theater ever. I saw it 12 times in the theater.
Oh wow!
So,
Oh wow!
Under half of Jurassic Park, because Jurassic Park's 28.
Jeez, dude.
I
know
freaking
people who like
love
Jurassic
that
Park
movie.
like 28 times. Holy
Dude,
cow!
Jurassic
That's
Park
a lot.
ticked every box that I ever had, and then some.
Was that when it launched, or is that like subsequent like special nights and re-releases and stuff too?
It was. I think I saw, because I was working at a youth camp in Michigan when it launched. We could only go on the weekends, so I know I saw it like 4 times there. But then once that ended and I went back to school, college, I should specify. Once I went back to college for my next year, I think that I just kept watching it because it was in theaters forever. I think I saw all the subsequent showings but one throughout the rest of that year. And then there was a 20th anniversary re-release in theaters. I think it was 20th anniversary. It was either 15 or 20, I can't remember. And I went and saw it again for the 28th time. So, and yeah, but The Matrix is my number 2. And
I saw it
movie
in
was
theaters
amazing.
once.
The funny part, you know what? I take that back. It's 13 now. Because when I was living in Grand Rapids, Lexi bought me, I don't know if that counts. We went to the symphony and they live scored. That counts, doesn't it? It was a showing of the movie that they live scored with the symphony.
Yeah, that counts.
I think that counts. Yeah, so 13. That's not bad.
Wow. Okay. But yeah, I'd recommend it if you enjoyed The Mandalorian and you like kind of behind the scenes stuff. It's not deep. It's not like revealing any tawdry drama or anything that happened. It's all about celebrating the series and the creators and the people in it. There's some really, really good stuff with the actress who played. My brain is just dying right now. The shock trooper, Kara.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kara. Former MMA fighter, and this is really like her second or third big acting gig. Working
After
with
Deadpool.
Yeah. And working with like Carl Weathers and Carl Weathers in this thing is a hoot. I mean, that guy, okay, minor spoilers for the behind the scenes stuff, but he was originally supposed to be in prosthetics.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, he was originally supposed to be in.
Well, I'm glad they didn't do that.
No, they're like, but they couldn't hide the voice. They're like, everybody's going to know that's Carl Weathers, and wonder why they just put Carl Weathers in there. So like, we just have to do Carl Weathers, and he was just totally doing it as a favor to John. I mean, this whole show exists because John knows everybody, and everybody will do favors for John.
Which is how he gets. Which is how he gets half his movies done. I mean, I remember like watching Chef, and I'm like, wait, how did Robert Downey Jr. get in this movie? Like, he just like people just love this guy.
So I have the biggest blackmail file on the planet.
Yeah, I have a question. Actually, this is a serious question. I've been meaning to ask the two of you for forever. The sister in The Mandalorian. Is that the chick that played with Robin Williams in Cloud Busting? Oh my god. Never mind. I've lost my train of thought. I can't think of the name. Yeah, the movie where he was insane. Jeff Bridges. Or Jeff Daniels. No, Jeff Bridges. Played opposite. He was a mental patient. It wasn't Dead Poet Society. It was right after that. Fisher King.
Oh, Fisher King. That's right. I haven't seen that one forever.
I don't know. Just physical mannerisms of the chick that plays the sister reminds me of that. So I was going to ask, but it's probably not.
Plays whose sister?
The episode where he goes to do the job. It doesn't end well for the brother or the sister. How about that?
Oh, the heist one. Takiti Waka. Yeah. Wakiki's episode. Yeah.
Vander
I
says,
have no idea.
Vander says, I've seen the original TMNT movies so much that the wife laughs at me keeping up with them speaking in certain scenes. I'm not surprised.
The original one, especially, is a good movie.
No, the original ones are much. Yeah,
2's decent. 3's, but
yeah.
Now, if you saw TMNT, the one with the teeth turtles, that was recent one, the more recent.
No, he said original. He said original.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think
that one's actually surprisingly not as bad as it seems like it should be, but it's still not great.
So I'm sorry. You were saying Mandalorian. I interrupted.
Mandalorian, the back to behind the scenes, and then we finished up finally the Rookie season 1. I know they felt like they needed to do a cliffhanger, dramatic ending for the final episode of the season, but they really just kind of threw everything from the season out the door in crafting that episode. So it was kind of a disappointment, because it just feels very disingenuous to the rest of the season. So we'll have to see what they do with that. But yeah, it was good. It was a good season. I mean, it's a very basic show. I mean, it's not anything amazing, but it's good just consumption TV. And if you like Nathan Fillion, it is still primarily Nathan Fillion, the TV show. Then on the gaming side, actually, before I do that, I finally finished Leviathan Rises, the first book of the Expanse series. So that is the longest book I have read in a very long time, and I did not go at it voraciously, so it took me forever. But I finally finished that. So I need to pick up Caliban's War, which is book 2.
Which that's still just season. That's half of season 1, isn't it? No,
that's halfway into season 2.
Oh, okay.
It ends with the crash.
Okay.
The big crash.
So do you like the books better than the show?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think the books are very, very good. I mean, it's good enough to the point where I gave it to my mom. I only give her the best of science fiction because she's pretty picky. It's very good, very well written book. They did keep the cast for the first book very small, It's just the crew of the Rocinante and Miller.
Mm.
None of the other characters that are in the show at that time have been introduced yet in the books. So they introduce a lot of characters in the show much earlier, which makes sense and makes the flow of the show work well.
Hmm.
But we'll have to see how that's handled in the books.
So I
So it's a much
actually,
intimate story.
oh, go
Yeah.
ahead. I'm sorry.
It's just a much more intimate story in a way because it just focuses on those two and it alternates. One chapter is the crew of the Rocinante, and then the next chapter, it's told from Holden specifically's point of view, and then the next chapter is told specifically from Miller's point of view, and they alternate back and forth.
So between the last podcast and now, I gave Banner the details on the Expanse, and he mainlined all 4 seasons.
Oh wow, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really good show. I mean, there's definitely some differences. There's the reductive version of Amos that's in the first book is pretty hilarious because knowing where they're going with that character and seeing how they introduce him and basically keep him throughout the first book, he's basically there to swear and say how whack stuff is. That's basically his only function in the first book.
I'd go so far as to say by the end of season 4, still pretty much the only function for Amos.
Not the only function.
I'm
He's
just
got
kidding.
some more depth than that.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, no, it's funny, some of the jokes that didn't really land, especially in later season 2, are because some of the physical traits of the characters are different from the book and the movie, the show, but they kept some of the jokes that are related to the physical traits. So they don't land as well in the show, and you're not quite sure why the joke is there. But when you get what the physical description of the characters is in the books, the jokes make sense, which is a weird meta thing, but yeah. But yeah, I'll definitely keep reading that series. I know they're up to like 8 books or something now. It's going to take me the rest of my life to get there at the rate I've been going at it. But and then on the game front, excuse me, Platinum Spyro 1 and 2 on the Reignited collection. Working on Spyro 3, I'm at about 2/3 done with that at this point. I started a hard playthrough of Final Fantasy VII Remake. The whole item things is just annoying. I mean, it hasn't been a hindrance so far. I'm in chapter 3, so I'm not terribly far. But it's just kind of annoying. It's like, why? What RPG in the history of ever has not let you use items at least in between battles?
This one.
Or in battles, one or the other. This one.
This one.
It's like, it's just a weird limitation. And when some of the levels start getting longer and, than they are initially, I kind of wondering exactly how that's going to play out. But yeah, grabbing as many HP plus materia as I can and throwing them on everybody because that's the only way to grow characters now because they're all level 50. So HP plus and MP plus materia are going to be pretty vital. We played a bit of the Minecraft Dungeons, which I imagine we'll talk about after a bit. And then we did play another round of the Divinity Original Sin 2. Now, depending on how things are going, I don't know if that's going to be able to keep going or not because we have some personnel issues potentially, but we'll see where that goes. And then got through, let's see, Dr. Aphra and the Poe Dameron comic run. The Poe Dameron comic run was actually surprisingly good and filled in some interesting gaps between the movies. So that was actually a surprisingly good run on that. And then the Dr. Aphra stuff is just kind of goofy fun. But that's been pretty solid. I've only finished the old series. I haven't started the new series of that yet. And then in comics, just kind of a side note, I found out just a couple days ago that at the beginning of May, Marvel relegated some of its previous print comics to digital only. I had totally missed that somehow, and a couple of the books I had been getting are in that list. So now I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do. I think what I'm going to do is wait till the trades come out in print because they are still going to put out print copies of the trades. and then just get the rest of the ones that I want that are part of a series that way. Not still, I mean, I've read in the unlimited subscription, I've read a bunch of digital copy comics that are comics that I wouldn't necessarily want to own, but were, something I was interested in reading. And it's not a terrible format, but it's just, I don't know, it doesn't carry that same weight, both physically and, I don't know, emotionally. And that's not the right word, but I don't know what the word to use is. So that's interesting. They've announced, I think they're up to, is it 10 or 12 titles now that have gone from physical to digital only. And this time calling them digital does make sense because the other version of it is not also digital. So I'm okay with calling the comics digital as opposed to the download copies of games, which doesn't make any sense because all video games are digital. But, that's me. Except for that copy, it's arguable that the copy of Doom that guy hard-coded onto a breadboard could possibly be called an analog because it's actually hardwired into the motherboard. So you could maybe make the argument for that one, but I digress. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, Dave,
Yes.
it's been like 7.5 months. What have you been up to?
Hasn't really. It hasn't. No.
At least like 3 or 4.
Okay, yeah, it's been a while. All right, so last we talked, Animal Crossing came out for me, and that was kind of like a big deal. And
Wasn't that like 2 years ago?
No.
It feels like 2 years ago.
It feels like 2 years ago because you played it improperly.
According to Japanese devs, I played it just fine.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they just felt bad for just because arguing with people like you who like have to just run through the whole game in 2 days and don't know how to properly enjoy an Animal Crossing game. It's not what it's about, man. It's just about the experience, man.
Which one of us is from San Francisco?
Yeah, I should be.
Yeah, you should be from that diatribe, yes.
Oh my god, seriously, because I am not a good like. I know you're like all the jokes that are like, I'm from the East Coast and everything like that. I do not fit in. All right, I am a terrible East Coast person. I am a hippie wanting to just like sit out in the rain and all that kind of stuff. And
But you also like firearms, which means you are automatically disqualified from California.
That is not true at all. Just San Francisco.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not
There's
like
plenty of places in California where they appreciate and exercise their gun rights. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. Just not easily.
Right.
So yeah. All right. So there's a lot of complications in my life. All right. I get that. I'm a very complicated person. Sure. Whatever. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Animal Crossing.
What you been doing?
I paid off my house last night.
In Animal Crossing.
So
in Animal Crossing.
In Animal Crossing, not your actual house.
Nobody pays off a house in real life.
Okay.
That's a myth.
That's crazy talk right now.
And the female orgasm? What? Yeah.
I was gonna make that. I was totally gonna make that joke, but I figured Matt would get mad if I made that joke, and then this is just a night of surprises.
He goes and makes the joke.
See, that's just because you're used to me censoring all the stuff that's in my head, and every once in a while I let a little bit of it out. And
Apparently, I'm not the only one drunk tonight. And that's playing it properly, no time travel at all whatsoever.
So that's the final loan. It's completely, you're completely done with all the loans and stuff.
Yeah, so my house is totally upgraded.
Well, for the house, there's loans for doing bridges and other construction around the town.
Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with the way the layout is. So like, I don't think I'm adding any more bridges and everything. I might change. I don't know. I'll like figure out what to do now. Like now I'm just sitting on a pile of money and stuff. just kind of goofing around, and like I want to build out, finish out the museum and stuff like that. I just like, I just play a little bit every day, just, hit my rocks and find some stuff and fish a little bit. It's my me time. I love that game.
I've realized that what you are playing and what I want out of a game is exactly the same as life itself. That game should be entitled Ozarks the Game.
Nice.
Because you just hit a couple rocks, you fish,
Drink some moonshine.
you sit around, you talk to a couple people when you see them once in a blue moon.
Yeah, I did. There was some drama. There was some drama on my island.
Oh,
Did I tell you about that? I don't even think I brought this up. So I actually resorted to physical violence in the game to try and get somebody off my island.
what'd you do? Whack him with the net?
Yes. Repeatedly, and that apparently pisses people off. However, I found out that according to the game, all that does is just lower your friendship with the person. It doesn't actually make them want to leave. So I had this really ugly squirrel with a unibrow. And it really made me upset because I don't know, I have a thing against unibrows, I guess. Call me shallow, whatever. I don't care. I don't want to be reminded of, horrible life imperfections in my game. I just, that my island is not a place for unibrows, all right? And
the opinions expressed by the Gamersledge contributors are not those necessarily of Gamersledge. It's staff or employees.
I'm just saying, in my game, I didn't want a squirrel with a unibrow, all right? It might have just been because it was a squirrel. If it was like a cow with a unibrow, I probably would have been okay. I don't know. But she also leaned into it. Like her tagline was "Uni-wow." Like she knew what was going on. And it just bothered me. And I just did not want to be a part of that. So I complained at the front desk every day that this one was an issue. And apparently that doesn't do anything either for making them want to leave. But I finally made it happen. So I found Lucky, who is a popular character, a popular villager in the game. It's a dog that dresses like a mummy, and he makes his house into this haunted house kind of thing.
I actually have Lucky on my island right now.
Nice. And Lucky's great. So I convinced him to move in, and he was like, well, your town's full. So I was just like, talk to that unibrow chick. Boom, kicked her right out. So Lucky did my dirty work for me. A day later, someone moved out voluntarily, and I got Marshall in my town. So we're in really good shape. I got one of the squid or one of the octopus in my town.
Nice.
We're doing all right. We got a little nice town going. I like where things are right now.
Wow.
So
what's that?
So what's your favorite villager that you have?
My favorite villager that I have?
Legs cramping.
I don't know. Boomer cracks me up. He's like this little duck kind of bird thing. He cracks me up. Yeah, I got Marshall is a new one in town. He's just awesome because he's just angry. So I like that. I have Octavian.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's awesome because he's just bitter. And I appreciate that. We get along really well. So that's really fun. And I don't know. I just love that game. I love the whole crafting thing in it. That's how I made my money. They have a daily, there's there's hot items in the store.
Right.
So if you are able to make the hot items, they pay you double, when you pay them. So I'm sitting on this giant stockpile of stuff to craft with. So I was just I can make 40 of these things and make like 200,000 clip, and it was just, and I just like ran through and just like made like 3 trips to the store, like loaded my inventory with it, and then I was just like bam, got like $1 million. So it was, that's how I did it, through hard work, not time travel. Like
I quantum leaped.
There's a little
I
salt
quantum
there,
leaped
I
that beyond.
sense.
I quantum leaped it. It was good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like letting it happen. I don't know, man.
See, I like the time travel better for one simple reason. Every time I do it, I get to see different things in the shops. And since the shops only change once a day, you could not see something for months in that game.
That's true.
And like you said, if they really didn't want you to do it, they would have codified it like they used to. To where there was that guy that got in your face and annoyed you. Oh, you time travel,
Mr. Rossetti.
Yeah,
Mr. Rossetti. I kind of miss that. I wish I was still in the game. I don't know. They did a cool thing where they did the. Did you see the live action or the live action? Jesus. So the live performance of the song. They did like a quarantine. You know how all the bands are doing like quarantine versions of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like, we had Goldfinger do Superman, which was awesome the other week. There was Seatbelts did Tank. You heathens, Seatbelts did Tank. Don't make me explain this. Don't you
I can do this too.
Just keep
Flapjacks did Doghouses. You heathens.
Serious.
Flapjacks. Doghouses.
No. I'm talking about Cowboy Bebop, and you guys didn't even react.
It took me a sec to figure out what you were talking about, but I've
I haven't seen Cowboy Bebop.
Now that you put that framework around it,
whoa.
It doesn't come to my brain as the first thing ever.
No. Time out for a second. Time out for a second. One of your offspring just said he never saw Cowboy Bebop.
I've seen an episode.
I blame bad parenting.
That is
nah, it's not his fault. He showed me an episode. I should have watched it.
It is his fault. That is bad parenting. Let me judge him just as much.
It's my fault. The blame is on me.
So this is taking forever. So the guys that did the theme song, the New Horizons, the Animal Crossing New Horizons, did a live, internet thing for that. So I thought that was kind of cool. Other games, What the Golf?
Oh, did you pick it up? Is it good?
I did. It's fantastic. All right. First of all, my son absolutely loves this game, and he's really good at it, which is kind of pissing me off. So, because there's like a multiplayer part in it, and like at first I was kind of like letting him win, and then like he got good at the game because he's been practicing during the day when I'm working. And the last time,
legit beating you.
The last time we played, I was actually trying, and the little bastard was. I was like, okay. I was like, he won like every round except for one, and and there was like stuff happening where like I was like legitimately trying to win, and then like I'd bump him into the thing to win, by accident, because like stuff like that happens in the game, and I'm just like, this is not good. This is already happening. It's not even 5 yet. However, it's great because he loves it, so it's great to have that kind of distraction. It is a really well done game. The cool thing about it is there's so many genre and other game references in it. That's just really hilarious. Like it does. I mean, it covers so many things. Like one, he was like playing a level, and things would only move when you moved, and it's that VR game.
Super hot.
Super hot. That's it. So like you have like there's like people like guarding like the holes, and they're like shooting at you, but it only happens like when you move. So like it's funny. And at the end, like when you actually like sink the putt, it goes super putt. It's just
nice.
They do like and it's all like in that graphical style too. Like it's all like red and white.
Nice.
they do jokes about Portal. They do jokes about just tons of stuff, is in there. All the all kinds of like old school games, new school stuff, indie, just everything. There's references to all kinds of stuff. So it's really fun to just kind of like, pick up on all that stuff.
So it's on Nintendo Switch, Apple Arcade, and PC.
Yeah. So I think the most recent was Switch. It's been out on PC for a while. Not sure how long it's been out on Apple Arcade. Very fun game. Very worth the money. There's a party mode in it that's really fun that my son and I are playing, where it's like 2-player against each other. Yeah, and it's just like it's fun. Like if you are a fan of like a lot of different games and stuff, you'll appreciate all the references in it. The gameplay is simple but fun. Some levels get tricky, but it's usually not too hard. There's like little challenges where you're going through the levels, and there's like three different ways to play the hole, and then you get like a crown. So it's just like there's like 3 levels to each hole you can play, and it changes the rules on them. Some are more goofy than others. Some are harder than others. There's a lot of stuff in there, but it's really good. So I definitely recommend that. It was on sale when you bought it right away, or you pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered it to get the cheaper price. I think it was like $20 maybe. Totally worth it. Again, my son loves the game, so that kind of stuff is important right now. With everything going on.
If you're going to give it a score out of 10.
Something? I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but definitely a solid 8 out of 10. I haven't gone through everything yet. That number could actually go up, but it's been a lot of fun. I really love it. Streets of Rage 4 also dropped. I don't know if you guys talked about that. I don't think that was out the last time I was on.
Nobody's actually picked it up yet, other than you.
Yeah, not true. I have. I haven't beaten it yet because I haven't had a lot of time to play it, but I have played enough of it to absolutely love the game. This is the people that made it. Like, they love Streets of Rage 2. Like, it is. They love the game. They wanted to make that game, and then modernize it a little bit and everything. It's fantastic. They did a great job. The graphics are awesome. I love what they do. I know some people are like a little torn on the style. I've seen some people complain about stuff, but nah, there's nothing to complain about. It's awesome. Gameplay is really good. It's funny because it's like familiar, but there's like a couple new techniques in there to throw things for a loop. So like you're doing things, you're trying to like I've played Streets of Rage 2 a lot. All right. That is probably, I mean, if I'm being honest with myself, it's probably my most played video game of all time. Like, it is one of my go-to games all the time. I play that game a lot. No joke. I probably complete that game every other month. Like, that's not even a lie. It's quick to go through for me now at this point. I'll bump it down on easy and just kind of like run through it when I just want to have a little fun and everything. I love the hell out of that game. So I'm very familiar with like all the play mechanics and everything in it. Most of the mechanics are the same, but there's like some little tweaks like on stuff, that you have to get used to. So you're kind of like, you're playing it, it's familiar, but there's a little bit of difference and you're getting used to that. And I'm realizing I am playing with, all right, so what was the first one? 93, 94 was Streets of Rage 2, I think. So
I think that sounds too early, actually. 2?
No. Because I think 91 was Streets of Rage 1.
2 was 92, yeah.
2 was 92. So like 91, I think, was Streets of Rage 1. That seems close.
That would have been Japan. So we wouldn't have gotten it till 90. So, nope, I'm wrong. Oh, North America got it first.
Really?
Crazy. Yeah, December 20th, 92 for North America. Japan got it
Wow.
January 14th of 93, and EU got it January of 93 as well.
Crazy.
That is crazy. I've never.
Either ways.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so we're talking about 92 then. All right, for Streets of Rage 2, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this year is 2020. That's a lot of time that I've been playing that game.
That was the build
All
up.
that for that.
Really, all
was-
that's wow.
I've been playing this game, whippersnapper.
Let's see. Carried the 4, had the 9. This is a long time.
I was just curious. That's all. You didn't have to go there. I was fine hitting to the point. It was either like I had the basics down. You're the stickler for details. So that's a lot of time to build up a lot of muscle memory for playing a Twitch game like that. So having it deprogram that a little bit while you're playing it is kind of interesting. Fantastic game. Can't wait to play, through the rest of it. There's a lot of stuff to unlock in it. There's a lot of like homage, to the original source stuff, to the original games. Yeah, it's just, it is the king of beat 'em up games. It's a genre I'd love to see, make a bigger comeback. But if it doesn't, I'm okay with like a super quality thing like this dropping and just letting it be, because clearly I'm not sick of Streets of Rage 2 yet. So I think this can carry me for the next 20 years.
There was a rumor that the reception to this was going to get what they were trying to get Scott Pilgrim DD listed.
Yep.
Oh,
I heard that too. I heard that exact same thing.
Oh, that would be fantastic because I have that on like one of my PS3s.
It's on PS4 too. The Scott Pilgrim game, it's on PS4.
Is it on my PS4?
I'm
I thought it wasn't unavailable for anything but the PS3.
99% positive. I'm looking.
Yeah, I remember I played on my PS3. That was it. So maybe I didn't bother getting on the PS4 because I didn't really need
Nope, you're right. Only 360 and PS3. I thought I must have seen it in my download list, but didn't see it said PS3.
Yeah, I thought it was just PS3 because then it's like, and you can't get it again now. Like it's not for
Right.
sale
No,
now.
you can't get it. You can't get it now.
So that's interesting. That's pretty cool. The Tetris Effect soundtrack was released on the streaming channel or streaming. Help me out, please.
Services. The streaming services.
Thank you, Mark.
You could have just said on the streaming to be one of the hip kids. It would have been fine.
Sure, whatever. I don't care. I'm listening to it. That is really great stuff to just kind of have on in the background.
Super chill.
Yeah. And it's just like in playing the game, like, I mean, I guess maybe I can't judge it based off of just like music because like,
Well,
I
yeah,
judge
you
it.
can because it's not much more. It's not much deeper than Tetris with really good music. That's the entire premise of the game.
Yeah, but like playing Tetris 2, that music like gives me a level of love for it that like I'm not sure like if I would have just heard these tracks just by themselves, divorced from the whole Tetris thing, like would I like them as much? I don't know.
The songs hype up the Tetris.
Yeah, so like I don't know if that's like the Tetris thing like increases my love of the song. So like I don't know.
It's sort of like with I think it's sort of like with Into the Spider-Verse, where the songs aren't necessarily songs that you would listen to on your own, but in the context of the movie, they are amazing.
Yes. Although that Sunflower song is really good, I'd listen to that even without the context of the movie. But yeah, that soundtrack is definitely elevated, like, because of knowing the movie. And that stuff happens, and I'm fine with that. But very enjoyable, and I really recommend it for like background music while you're working and stuff. It's nice, long. There's a whole ton of tracks, so that's good stuff. I did download the Panzer Dragoon game.
Did you play it? No.
No, I didn't even get a chance to play that yet, which I'm pretty mad at myself.
Which actually, I
And,
forgot it. I forgot it was coming out, so I didn't even get it yet. So I'll have to
yeah,
pick that up.
so I really want to check that out. I'm going to try and check that out this weekend when I'm not working and doing other stuff. Cool show on Disney Plus. They have this, and something. I don't even know what the show's called, but it's
Good
it's
story.
Basically, I know. I really suck at life right now, and I'm well aware. It's about they go through. It's some guy who kind of like is a curator of old movie props. So he's kind of like going through like different movies and like trying to rescue like movie props and everything like that. Like that's like this guy's gig. And there was a Tron episode, so that's what caught my eye. And the guy actually finds like the original Flynn's Arcade.
Oh wow. Okay, so let's start over. This is a reality TV show about a real guy who's trying to save historically relevant pieces of movie memorabilia props. It's called Prop Culture on Disney Plus. I totally thought this was some kind of movie that you were setting up.
No.
Like,
I feel like I said all that, but you probably said it all way better.
Along with the title of the show. I mean, I knew you were talking about a show, but
Yeah.
I'm listening to what Dave's saying, and I'm reading what the show actually is, and they were not the same thing in my mind. So I figured I better jump in there.
And I really appreciate your existence right now. Totally. But I want to rewatch it because I was kind of like watching it in the middle of like my son complaining about wanting to watch something else. But I was just kind of like, and he was like, "Daddy, that's like your shirt," and I'm like, "Yes." So, because I have like a Flynn's Arcade shirt, and like he's really good at like picking out like logos and patterns and stuff right now, so that's kind of creepy.
I'm sure him watching his dad play Animal Crossing all day helps with that.
Yes, he's very disappointed in me already at an early age. It makes sense. We got him to watch Scoob. There's the new Scoob movie, which was which is funny. Tracy Morgan plays Captain Caveman, and that just cracks me up. There's all these like, because my son watches a lot of like kids shows, and like there's all these things that happen that really freak me out, like Tracy Morgan playing in kids shows, which happens often. He was in Green Eggs and Ham, which is actually a fantastic series. I don't know if you guys have any. You're probably never gonna watch it, but it's actually a good series. It's like it's legit funny, and it's got like a lot of stars behind it. It's pretty good. But the one that freaks me out the most is he was watching a show. It's on it's on the Disney Channel. It's about like little kid monsters and stuff like that or whatever. But Wanda Sykes is in it. Yes. Why do you know this?
Babysitting.
Yeah. Vampirina.
So Vampirina and Wanda Sykes is in it.
Yeah.
Is that the gargoyle?
Yes. So the first time I heard her voice, I went lunging to hit mute on the remote.
As well you should.
Because I know Wanda Sykes. I mean, like literally when I heard her voice, like the last thing I saw her in was in that DC show the Harley Quinn show. And Wanda Sykes on that was Wanda Sykes.
I'm guessing they have to use the edit tool very frequently because I'm sure she's constantly dropping words into that rendition of the gargoyle that she's not supposed to.
God, I want
it all together.
I want to see outtakes for that so bad. So that's always kind of funny with that stuff. So like, you see these shows and like, oh my God, that person's doing like kid stuff. Like that just seems wrong.
It happens.
so
It almost inevitably happens. I mean, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. So, I appreciate that kind of stuff. It's fun. But yeah, so, and like, we just got, our HBO Max started.
Everybody's
What?
HBO Max started.
Yeah. But I'm saying like, so that started and,
Apps all converted.
yeah, well, no, because I use Fire TVs and stuff. So apparently they're feuding with Amazon again. So I gotta wait again for them to get over that stuff. However, the smart TV.
Okay, you guys, all of you are freaking me out. Now the chat's talking about Vampirina and Puppy Dog Pals. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Puppy dog.
I don't know what's going on.
Bark, bark, bark.
I don't know what's going on.
Everyone watches
I will
these shows
say-
but you.
I will say-
puppies.
There's a show called Bluey on Disney Plus,
Oh,
and if you haven't watched Bluey, it's technically a kid show, but it is legit funny. It's like it's about these like this dog family, and like the dad is like a jerk. It's hilarious. Like he's always like trying to rip off the kids and stuff like that. It's like really good.
Wow.
But
That
it's
sounds
actually, like,
hilarious.
no, it is. It's funny. Like he was playing like the crane game with the kids, and he was acting like he was like the robot crane, and like he was like stealing money from the kids. He was like, "Oh, I need another quarter," and he was like ripping them off. It was just like they're really doing dad stuff there. I also made my first dad joke. Like my
So do you-
first legit.
All right,
What was it?
so no. We don't waste these. If
Yeah.
he says he did his first dad joke, then he's doing the outro tonight.
Okay.
Okay, we can do that. Except that, but I don't know. It kind of breaks the rules because mine was actually funny.
Then that's good. Then-
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
And the best part,
Cross
the
the
reason
bow.
the reason it made me think of this is because he actually did a callback tonight. My kid did a callback joke,
Did
and I'm so friggin' proud of him.
Did you ever watch the link that I linked you to, like the last podcast where I broke Matt?
Yes, that was awful.
Okay, it was great. See, so you'll do fine because that one was funny too. I'm sorry, it was hilarious.
But
My reaction was hilarious. The joke, not so much.
we started watching Schitt's Creek. Has anybody watched that?
I
I've
have.
heard of it, but I've not watched it.
No.
That show's hilarious. Canadians are awesome at TV.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that was just a Canadian show. I thought it was like a Netflix or Hulu or whatever or something like that. No, it's a Canadian show, just like Letterkenny. They're funny people. They know what they're doing.
I'm not sure you can paint all Canadians with a "they do TV well" paintbrush, but
Down
I'm-
there, Rick Moranis, Jeff Daniels. We're done. It's perfect.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of good, funny Canadians. I don't know. They make some good
I agree
TV.
with that. I agree with that.
So yeah, but I think that's about it. We can
Okay, that's good because my phone's gonna die soon.
nice.
Let's see. We finished The Voice. They did everything remote. They ended up shipping out cameras and lighting rigs and all the equipment needed for these vocalists to do green screen videos, and then they did production behind them, make them look much better.
Okay.
And then there was poor Carson Daly. The only time I'll ever say that because I kind of dislike Carson Daly.
Nice.
But there he was in the studio by himself. And pro tip fact, I found out recently that Hot Ones, which is one of my favorite YouTube web series, actually shoots in the Voice soundstage, which I did not know. So that's kind of cool. I also watched the community script read through where they got the entire cast back together and they read through one of the I think it was season 3, episode 6, if I'm not mistaken. But they couldn't get the guest star in, so they got the guy from The Mandalorian. I can never remember his name. What is his name?
Pablo Pascal.
Yes, Pablo Pascal. And watching him put 2 and 2 together for the jokes in real time as they broke him a couple times was pretty doggone funny. So I do recommend that's up on YouTube for free.
Is that the one where Donald Glover found out that there was a community like secret chat room thing that he wasn't invited to?
Can't remember. I watched it a long time ago. I have to go back and watch again. I don't remember what episode it was at all now. Actually, I just remember I had a lot of fun watching it. I did watch the Mystery Science Theater thing that they did. It was okay. I'm still not a fan. After all these years, I'm still not a fan of Joel. I think Mike is way funnier and has a better brain for writing stuff. Yeah, I know. But that's how I feel.
You could say you like Mike better, but not a fan. Like, how can you hate Joel?
It's not that I hate Joel.
You said you hate him.
No, I did not. I said I just don't think that the riffs are as good as Mike's. And I think that that translates, especially if you're doing like a hour and a half movie, that kind of translates over time into fatigue.
I kind of like Joel's like really dry.
No, I love their dry humor. So I love Joel's dry humor, but more often than not, he's not going for dry, at least in the later years. So I don't know. I'm enjoying riff tracks more. But this was great. It was free. It got eyes on the new people who had been touring with the live tour. So that was good, I guess. Mission accomplished. We started watching Soundland season 2, which that is still an amazing show if you've not watched it. It's basically where they have 3 of the best producers in LA who do music production work. One of them is the lead singer of One Republic. And they bring in guest artists who are working on an album, and then they bring in 4 songwriters to pitch their song idea to be on their album. And you see the entire journey from this idea that they had to finished production by the end of the show. And then they pick one, unless you're Will.i.am and decide to break the whole system. But I digress. You can watch that episode and find out for yourself. But you kind of see the whole music production process, which is pretty cool. And it's really interesting. So that's a great show. It's actually produced by... So this is funny. If you follow The Voice, Adam Levine quit The Voice because he was frustrated that middle of America would always vote for the country artists. And country artists have won like the last like schmabillion seasons of The Voice. And he got fed up with it and he quit. And this is his answer to that. And so he is the executive producer who came up with the idea, pitched it, and it is now in The Voice's slot when The Voice is not on. So that's kind of interesting. But been doing that. Flash season 6 is now up on Netflix, so that'll be the next thing that we dive into. And I have heard rumors that Boys season 2 is incoming. So I hope that comes sooner rather than later because I could use that distraction.
I just saw that.
On tabletop, I've been playing Rifts Ukraine. We're streaming that Tuesday nights. Freedom for the Borderlands. Rifts is kind of a hodgepodge universe kind of thing. It's pretty cool. Exalted on Thursdays. We're currently not streaming that, but maybe in the next few months we actually might start. And then for other games, I've been playing on PC an early access survival dungeon crawler called Stone Shard. It is single player only, but excuse me. It is not a roguelike, but it has randomly crafted dungeons, and I would call it more of a survival dungeon crawler. But it's pretty interesting and it's well executed. So
wait, hold on. A survival dungeon crawler?
Yeah.
That's a roguelike, dude.
No, because roguelikes usually have a system that when you die, you somehow increase your overall player level and get access to new things for your player. There's none
All
of that
right.
in this, so
Okay.
it's
Fine.
more like a
I'm
survival
thinking.
dungeon crawl.
I'm thinking of like the old school, like Gateway to Ashby, kind of thing. Holy shit, that's going back.
It's more one of those things where you start with nothing and then you have to scrape and claw to survive with what little you have, and then eventually it becomes a full-fledged RPG over time. So that's why I kind of call it more like a survival dungeon crawl. It's kind of weird. There's nothing like it. I really enjoy it. But it's called Stone Shard, and it's not expensive. I want to say I spent like $15 on it, so it's not terribly expensive. But that's on Steam now. Played some Divinity Original Sin 2 on Monday nights. We'll see if that continues. I hope it does. Played Mortal Kombat 11. Aftermath dropped this week. So spent some quality time with that last night, actually. We streamed both endings for the new story portion. So that'll be up on YouTube here this weekend. 3 new characters. They introduced why is my brain not working? Fujin, who is Raiden's brother, and we haven't seen since like a good while. It's Fujin, and then Shiva, who is great. She feels kind of like the Mortal Kombat 3 Shiva, but a little bit better, a little bit crisper, and she's great for grappling. And then last but not least, RoboCop, which RoboCop he plays exactly as you feel he would in your head. He is not. They did surprisingly give him some air dash kind of combo things if you choose to use them, but generally he's the slow plotter that can reflect just about anything and does a lot of long range damage. But yeah, he's pretty good. And the story was good. I mean, the production value on what you were getting, I still think for the cost it was $40.
Wow.
I got 5 hours of playtime out of the extra story content and 3 characters. Do I think that's really worth $40? Borderline. But if you combine that with the free update they did, I think it's probably worth, if you haven't bought the game at this point, buy the $60 version, get everything. That makes sense to me. I'm not necessarily sure the 40 might have been a little egregious, but whatever. It's great. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. So, I've been playing Portal Knights a lot lately. I had the urge to do crafty things, but I do not like Minecraft. And other people will not play Terraria with me, which makes me sad. So Portal Knights was the compromise. And I actually really like that game a lot. And then that also brought us to Minecraft Dungeons. That dropped on Tuesday along with Aftermath. I have logged probably about 20 hours into it, 15, 20 hours, somewhere in that range. Ken is about to hit level 50. I think I'm sitting at level 30 or 35. And you like to tease me about Time Vortex. I'm not joking. Like by Thursday, there were people that were level 99 in the game that we were seeing out and about. I have no idea how they
must have been. They must have had early. They had early access. They were either test copies or something.
Nope, just random 13-year-olds apparently don't have to work or go to school or do anything else. Drives me
sleep either apparently.
Yeah, apparently. But it is. I would call it a kid-friendly Diablo, and it has many of the quality of life things that you would expect in an online dungeon crawler. There are some, like the UI is goofy and a little clunky, but not horrible. There are quality of life issues for local co-op, Like, for example, if somebody's in their inventory, no one can see the rest of the screen. That's bad. But beyond that, that's pretty minor stuff. The game's pretty polished. There's like no story to speak of. So if you're looking for lore heavy kind of world building, it ain't gonna happen in Minecraft.
There is story. It's just meaningless.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a line and a half of story when you enter every area. But yes, it's meaningless.
And most of it's the bad guy has taken over. You must free them.
Yes, and just substitute bad guy type for level type. So the witches have magic in the swamp. You must stop them. And then when you beat the level, it's you stop those witches. Good job. And then the next level is like, ooh, dungeon, skeletons. No more skeletons. That's really about the extent of it.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
And apparently creepers are cactus monsters that wear no pants and explode. So that's another thing I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That about sums that up.
Yeah. And then I thought what might be fun. Well, Matt, did you have any further thoughts on it? If I was going to score it, I mean, granted, I'm only about 15 hours into it. I have beat the game already, but for $15, wasn't it? 20 for
It's
20
20.
bucks.
Yeah.
For $20, you really can't get more. I mean, it's a fun game to play with friends locally or online. It's a unusual dungeon crawler in that you don't have classes. Your weapons and armor determines what your play style is. And so you just go till you find something you like. And it's a pretty simple formula, but there's lots of different items, so you can make some pretty OP combinations later in the game. It's a fun little dungeon crawler for $20. I would probably give it like a 7.5 and 8 out of 10. It's got some growing. There's no crossplay at the moment, but they've already said that is something they have in the roadmap. It's just not there yet at launch. And there were problems with the PS4 launch, which sadly have affected me. I was going to buy the $30 version, which had some cosmetic stuff, but they botched the launch and only the regular version came out. And then there was supposed to be DLC to upgrade, but then they just put out the deluxe version and there's no bridging DLC now. So they really don't want my money is the short answer.
Yeah, there's some weird little hitchiness to it, in the sense of the UI, and it's just, I mean, there's some stuff that isn't explained well, or at all,
or
something you're explaining to me that is not explained at all in there.
No.
So I mean, it's definitely not a flawless execution. I would say based on what we did, and we played 3.5 hours. I think I'm like level 7 or 9, one of those two numbers. I don't remember which. So it's, but yeah, it's a solid game. It's a solid effort. I'm assuming it'll get patch stuff into it, and it'll keep on continuing to get supported with. Oh, there's a magic dog floating in and out of the screen there. But yeah, no, it's a solid 7. I don't think I'd go any higher than that right now based on my experience, but it's a solid 7. It's fun. I haven't tried local multiplayer yet, so I'm not sure exactly how that plays out.
The only real complaint I have is that it seems like whenever we do online co-op, more often than not, one of us will get dropped on the mission recap screen, and then we have to, like, if I'm hosting, then Ken will have to drop out and then come back in. If I'm joining him, then I have to drop out and come back in. That's the only real issue that we've seen so far. And it's not all the time, but it's more than none. It's more than probably a third of the time. it happens.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know that happened once in our playthrough the other night.
Yeah.
You dropped out. Yeah.
And then I thought
But-
for the other thing we do for Mortal Kombat, we can go through these friendships because Dave's drunk and that's going to be funny. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can. If the podcast crashes for a third time, then we'll know I really can't do this. But I believe it's going to work tonight. I believe.
Believe it.
I believe it'll
I believe it.
work.
So let me.
I'm new here, so I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
see.
that square shaped glass makes drinking out of that thing really difficult, doesn't it?
I'm telling you, it's not getting easier.
Just go from the corners.
That's what
I'm-
he's been doing. That's what he's been doing. Yeah,
that's what I've been doing.
I've been observing.
But after the second tall glass, I'm like, oof.
And that's got some
Where's
volume
the
to it.
corners?
That's like what, half a bottle there in that glass? That's got some volume to it.
Yeah, it's not a. I definitely, and my problem is I'm
Portion
told-
control?
I'm told I have a heavy pour, whatever that means.
It means you sweat
Mitchell
a
can
lot.
give you the
I'm
definition
sorry.
of a heavy pour.
Yeah, and the other problem is I don't actually like. Usually, it's just I drink on the podcast. That's like when I schedule, like my drinking, and so I don't drink often enough to build up a tolerance. So if I have like 2 of these while I'm talking to you guys, I'm just like completely
You're
effed.
sauced.
Oh God, yeah.
Did we stall long enough, Mark? Are you ready?
I think so. I've got the. Yep, I got it here. Because
That
I
takes
realized.
so long.
Yeah, I realized that if I didn't cap it for the stream, then no one would see it except us, which is the opposite of what we want here. So
Everybody has to see it.
yeah, so I will put it up here for us, and then leave. There we go, so people can see them, and then so we'll pause this out. All right, and then now I've got to try and share my screen for you guys, and I hope that it shares sound. Share computer sound, and we're going to share that screen. Share. Okay. I think I think this is working.
Technology.
Yeah. So
Doing again,
over there.
technology.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Echo.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's going on with you? Why is there?
I think we're getting the audio through Mark's,
Yes,
Yeah.
so that you guys can hear the thing. So
which also means
So-
we hear ourselves.
okay, so keep comments to a minimum unless you're giving your score. We'll do it that way. This should be fun.
Shush.
5.
Because only you guys
5.
get the you guys
5.
get the
5.
What?
What's the?
only you
Ted?
guys get the echo.
7 of 9.
The streamer the streaming community does not get the echo. All right, so here we go. All right, so first up, Shang Tsung.
French. Shang Tsung wins. Flawless victory.
Okay, so what do we score that one?
Say a solid
7?
Wait, what's our scale? Is it 1 to 10 or
1 to 10. 1 to
1
10.
to 5?
No, 1 to 10.
1 to-
A 1 to 5.
So I'll give it a
5.
7.
10.
I'll give it a 7 because it's a throwback to his Mortal Kombat 2-1, and I appreciate that.
I
I'll go with
appreciate the
6.
throwback, but it's a little old.
Matt, did you
Yeah,
weigh
I'd
in?
go 5 with that one.
Okay. All right, everybody's on record. All right. Next, Shao Kahn.
French. Shao Kahn wins. Flawless victory.
That one's a 9.
That's an 8. Yeah.
8, yeah.
Keegan?
Sure, 8. 8 works.
I give it a 7. It's good. I wouldn't go that far. All right, this one's Frost.
Prince. Frost wins. Flawless victory.
Okay, up until the head thing, that was higher. That's like a 3.
Yeah. The head was not good.
Yeah, that also freaked me out. I'm saying 4.
4.
Yeah.
I give it a
4.
4. Yeah. And just FYI, her head is the only part of her that's real, so that's why she can do that. So just
Ah,
FYI.
okay.
I get it. Still creepy.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's creepy. All right, Night Wolf.
Prince. Nightwolf wins. Flawless victory.
8.
8.
Ooh, wow.
I like
I'm
the
going
bear
5
in the
with that one.
background.
Yeah. Originally it was a 5 until I saw the bear and the ball.
See,
So that goes
yeah,
up to
so
an
what
8.
is it? See, I give it a solid 7 only because of its great juxtaposition. If you're familiar with Night Wolf, he takes his power very, seriously and responsibly. So the fact that he's wasting it like this, that's a big thumbs up in my book. I give it a 7. All right, who we got?
Hey! Come on, Bat!
Friendship. The Joker wins. Flawless victory.
Seven?
4.
What? Okay.
You just got whacked with the boomerang. That was
Yeah.
it.
I'm a little disappointed with that one myself. I'm giving it a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at the 5 too.
No, I'll give it a 7 because if you watch at the end of it, he keeps looking back at Batman and scowling. It's pretty funny.
Victory. Friendship. Johnny Cage wins. Flawless victory.
Anything Johnny Cage gets a 10.
I was gonna go 8, but yeah.
Probably gonna stick with my 7.
Okay, Dave, Matt, you know why that's a 10, right? He's doing the WB frog, dude.
Oh, is he really? I missed that.
Yes. He's totally doing the WB frog. That is hilarious.
Madison J. Frog.
Yep.
Aw.
Friendship. Sonya wins. Flawless victory.
Five? Not exactly
2?
sure what happened there.
She threw a stick, and he came back with a random tar cotton.
I
Yeah, I'm
kind of
sticking
like
with
it
the
at
2.
7.
I gave it a
I'll
3.
go with a 4.
I gave it a 3. Matt, did you chime in?
Yeah, I said 2.
Okay.
Friendship. Cassie Cage wins. Flawless victory.
1.
9 because I like the satire.
10
Let's
because
just say
she's
just
related to
be-
Johnny Cage.
Wow.
I was gonna say I was gonna go with an 8, just because it leaned so hard into the irony of it.
For me, it's the all aboard the friendship. caption on
Yeah,
that one
that
photo.
was pretty hard.
That's probably I'd probably give it a 7. It's good.
Ten for saxophone.
10. That is 10. That's 10.
French. Jax wins. Flawless victory.
Yeah, I could give that a 10.
I mean, even if you didn't like the original sax part, the fact he does the Mortal Kombat techno song at the very end, 10. 100% 10. Did you chime in on that one, Matt?
Yeah, I said 10 while it was going.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ten. Solid 10. Perfect. Yeah, all other 10s are invalid. That is the only 10.
I don't know. There's some good ones. But yes, I agree. That's a 10. Did everybody vote on that one? Did you vote?
Yeah. That's a 10.
Dave?
That's a 10 plus.
Oh yeah, that's a 10.
Okay.
French. Scorpion wins. Flawless victory.
I mean, they really commit with this one. I think it's like
9.
a 9 for me. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was a
that's a
little
solid 9
worried
for
with
me.
the first few here. This has definitely increased all of a sudden here. That's a 8.5, 9.
Okay.
French. Noob Silent wins. Flawless victory.
Hey.
8.
I mean, he's going hard. Like, he's not taking that friendship lightly.
No,
Still a 5.
there's effort
one
into that.
did-
That's an 8.
That one
That's
did
an 8.
nothing for me. That's like a 5 to me.
Oh, that's an 8 for me. All right, everybody in? All right.
French. Morocco wins. Flawless victory.
2? Oh, wait. 2. Yeah, I mean, I said 2, sorry. I don't get how that's a friendship, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I expected a little more like I think if the cake was perfectly sliced and like
Right.
fell in front of like
Yeah, and he gave you a piece? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like a 3.
Everybody in on this one?
Yeah, it's
Alright.
a 2.
All right.
Ten.
French. Raiden wins. Flawless victory.
So, for me, that's a 10 because it's super meta because they're referencing Light Balance, which is the dance troupe that actually does that crap with Mortal Kombat characters. And then the funny part is after this came out, they actually, Light Balance went back and did another Mortal Kombat thing, which is even more amazing than this friendship. But yes. Plus it's a throwback with Kid Lightning. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Did you vote, Matt? I didn't hear.
No, not knowing any of that, I would give it an 8. That extra stuff probably bumps it up, but I didn't know any of that, so.
Keegan Mitchell, scores?
Oh, 8.
8.
Okay.
French. Jackie Briggs wins. Flawless victory.
1.
3, yeah.
Oh, I like that. I'd give it a 7.
6 for
Oh,
the
sorry.
comment.
See, I don't know if that qualifies as a friendship.
Yeah, I know, right? How's the friendship? I don't know.
That's fair.
Did you vote? Dave?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a 1. I don't like that
Okay.
one. I think that violates the rules of a friendship.
Okay.
Friendship. Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory.
That one made me laugh, so 10.
9.
8.
That one
It was
gets
too easy. It's like a 6.
that one gets weirder the more you think about it for me, because he ran off to go get a cart that has nothing but sticks inside a chilled compartment for him to then make the ice cream. It's very odd, but I do like it. I give it a 7.
He's filled with cream and sugar.
I guess.
Friendship. Kaden wins. Flawless victory.
I grilled brats tonight, so I kind of appreciate that. So like 7.
Yeah, who doesn't like a good barbecue? That's 7. Solid 7.
Yeah, I could give it a 7.
Mitchell?
I said 7.
Okay. I appreciate 2 things on this. First of all, it's not brats, it's blood sausage, because he even talks about blood sausage in a bunch of his entrances, which is hilarious that they put blood sausage on there. But secondly, he's a Kiwi, and they have grilled shrimp on the barbie, so that's hilarious also. So I also give it a 7, because it's good.
Friendship. Cabal wins. Flawless victory.
9.
It's pretty solid. I give it an 8.
I'm leaning toward 8 on that one.
I play Cabal. I can guarantee you those are not mallets in his holsters back here. I appreciate it. I give it an 8.
Friendship. Liu Kang wins. Flawless victory.
7?
Really? I was kind of bored with that one. I expected
Yeah.
more from Liu Kang.
I mean, it was a throwback,
6.
but yeah, 6. It's slightly above average.
Yeah, I think 6 is where I land on it.
Oh no, I'm giving him
Friendship. Kitana wins. Flawless victory.
Okay, does she do that with anyone that she beat?
No. So let me first say that this is a very meta one because Melina is not in the game. And so they actually got her in the game by doing this, which is hilarious. I mean, she's in the game, but she's not a playable character, and her original version is not in the game. So this is kind of hilarious that they got her in friendship. But no, it's just her and her sister. And they're so happy.
I have no connection to this, so I'm going to have to rely on you meta guys to give good reviews, but that's like a 6.
Fair?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with my dad. 6.
Dave?
It did nothing for me. It's a 5. Like I
See-
appreciate the meta, and that's why it gets to the 5. But it's just like I don't know.
See, it's really jarring for me to see Mortal Kombat characters happy, and that's why I like it so much. So I think I give it a 7, just because I like seeing them happy because it's weird. Because normally they're screaming or dying or, yeah.
Kunlun wins. Flawless victory.
9.
Yeah, that's a 9. I love that one for some reason.
8.
Matt, did
Yeah, I'm
you?
8.
Okay.
8.
I'll probably go 8. It's solid.
Friendship. Jade wins. Flawless victory.
8.
I'm hoping there's some meta thing there because that's like a 4.
No meta, and she's eating the candy with the wrappers, so that's weird too.
Yeah, it's a
I'm gonna
2.
go 4.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very happy, so I kind of like it for that reason that it's really weird seeing her very happy because she's kind of a stuck-up British person in the game. So it's really weird, but yeah, I'll probably give it like a 4.
Ten.
Have it 10 billion?
Friendship. Robocop wins. Flawless victory.
Okay, there's
9.
2 things I have to point out about this. So first of all, that's the best friendship in the game. I'm sure it says otherwise. But number 2, his medal on his chest, actually the gold medal says OCP in it. It's like layered in OCP. It's hilarious.
Nice.
It's super good.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
That's a 10. I don't think it's not my favorite yet, but that's a 10. And bonus points for having the 80s boombox there.
Yes. Even though it's dubstep, which was not created until like 2007. But whatever.
Was the robots.
It was a robot.
Friendship. Scarlet wins. Flawless victory.
2?
5.
And 2.
Yeah, it just makes me feel sorry for her.
Yeah, see, originally I was going to give this one like a 2 because I didn't care. But when they spun it around and it was just like this little stick figure, I was like, that brings it up to a 7 for me.
Really? No, I give it
It
like
does.
A 3.
I don't know. I just think that's funny.
Wow, that's a step up. This one's good. This one's a solid 9.
Friendship. Aaron Black
9, yeah.
flawless victory.
And he's happy. And he tips his hat.
8.
I give it like a 9. I really like that one.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one.
All right, Devora.
Friendship. Devora wins. Flawless.
1. That one bugged me.
Ooh, oh, it bugged you. God. Really? Oh,
The most terrible
love
pun
it.
on this
I love
podcast.
it. I love it.
I'm
He
giving it a
tells
9
me to
just
stay out of
because
his
that.
domain, but he loves it when you do it.
I love it all the time. I love the puns all the time.
That was like a 4.
Keegan?
I said 2.
Oh, okay. That was very divisive.
Friendship. Total Khan wins. Flawless
Oh,
victory.
because he's the sun god.
Yes.
1.
4.
I gotta give it
7.
like an 8. It's pun. He's a sun god. He's sunbathing.
It's too obvious.
You didn't know until the little swing came in what was going on. I could see it in your face.
I mean, I hate the character as it is.
Then you will like very much the extended story. I'm just saying.
Friendship. Shiva wins.
Is that an 8?
Yeah, that's an 8 for me. It's creative.
Yeah.
I love that one. That's a 9.
Did you say Mitchell?
Yeah, it's an 8.
Okay. And Keegan, you said?
8.
Cool.
Flawless victory. Friendship. The Terminator wins.
He posed to assert
Flawless
dominance?
Okay, is it Glippy for anyone else? Because I just
That
It's
one
just
was pretty
really
bad. Most
Was
of
it?
them have been okay, but that one was really glippy.
Let me back up. Hold on a second. Let's try that again. Yeah, 720p. Yep. Okay.
Friendship. The Terminator wins. Flawless victory.
Yeah, nope, that was worse actually.
yeah.
Literally only displayed frames just as he was going off screen.
Huh. I'm looking at my bit rate. It is bouncing around a little bit, but not too bad. I don't know why.
I've seen that one before, so though I know what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, but I'm guessing Dave has
Flawless
not.
victory.
I've seen them.
Friendship. The Terminator wins. Flawless victory.
I'm gonna go with a 6.
I'd say 8. Seems pretty good.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's like a 5 without the thumbs up. The thumbs up raises it to like an 8.
Yeah, but there's the one pose where he's doing like the King of the World, where he's got his arms back on the front of the bow of the ship. That's pretty freaking fun too. I give it like a 7, I think. Did you score it, Dave?
That's like a 5. It did nothing for me.
Okay.
Like I appreciate it. I like seeing it, but it just didn't really do anything for me.
Does he use the bike in the game in combat?
I believe on his special.
Friendship. Gears wins.
9.
9.
Yeah, I'm more of a 5 on that one personally.
Just the
Yeah.
face at the end when he was trying to put the flag in, just
Yeah.
like the
Yeah. I think I'd be with you, Matt, on a 5 if it wasn't for that last shot of him putting the flag on.
I'm still neutral on it. I'm still a 5.
I give it a 7.
Flawless victory. Friendship. Collective.
I'll go 8 on that one.
Flawless victory.
5.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's an 8.
yeah.
Yeah. I give it a 7. Yeah.
Friendship. Sindel wins. Flawless victory.
Okay, assuming everyone got the same thing I did, she screams at the glass, but instead of the glass breaking, your screen breaks.
Yes.
yes.
And then she drinks the wine and throws the glass and breaks it anyways.
Yeah. So like a 3.
Yeah. 4.
Yeah. 3.
It's very weird. I don't know why they would. Yeah, it's not really a friendship. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get that one. That's
I give
a
it
1.
2. I give it 2.
Friendship. Cetrion wins. Flawless victory.
6.
5.
4.
That's a
4.
neutral. It's like I
Dave,
don't
you're
hate
3.
it, but I don't love it either.
Mark's a 2.
Well, there's just no juxtaposition. Those are actually her powers, and she's using them in a non-surprising way. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say 2.
Friendship. Fuji wins. Flawless victory.
I mean, they're
That one-
doing a rip on "Let's Go Fly a Kite" there, but
Yeah, that one's a solid 8. That's funny.
really,
Yeah,
like, is that
like
because
the
you
very
noticed something about the character, or
No.
just
he's prancing.
Just made me laugh.
okay?
I give it an 8. Yeah, made me laugh.
I'm more
I
of a
don't know.
5 personally, but
Fair, Mitchell,
6 or 7, somewhere in there.
Keegan.
I said 6.
Okay, so that's all of them. What was your favorite?
Either Jax or Spawn.
yeah, it's one of those two. It's probably Jax, but the Spawn one is like right on its tail.
Yeah, that's a tough one because I do love the Spawn one. I do love the Jax one, and I also have a soft spot for that Raiden one.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiden one wasn't bad.
Like you know something? I probably overall. I mean, it's close between Jax and Spawn, for me. But I think I might have to give the nod to Jax. That one because that was just like kind of out of nowhere. Like the Spawn one, I almost kind of get because like it's just, I mean, it's funny, it's good, it's quality, it's like playing on the, like I like that. But the Jax one just kind of came out of nowhere, and I think that just like really, I dig that one.
And I don't know if they did it on purpose or not, but I mean, Jax and Dax the Destroyer and the human form of Dax the Destroyer in the comic book was a saxophone player. So
You mean
I
Drax?
don't know if Drax. Sorry,
Okay.
I skipped the R for some reason. So yeah, I don't know if they made that connection on purpose or if that was just incidental, but on the possibility that that was on purpose, that's kind of freaking awesome.
Yeah. I
For
like
me,
the
it's-
saxophone one.
You like the saxophone one? Mitchell, did you say?
Yes, well, I can't really. It's a really close call between Jax and Spawn. I can't really say. Probably Jax by a bit, just by like a hair.
See, I have to give the nod to Raiden and RoboCop. RoboCop's my favorite. Yes, he's a robot doing a robot, but that's why it's funny.
He's a cyborg.
Wait, he's a
doing the
cyborg
robot.
doing the robot.
Yeah, same difference. Same difference. Thank you very much.
Not a difference. One's a robot, one's a
difference.
cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
You know he's from the
Totally
East Coast because he
different.
just said robot.
Yep. Next, he's going to talk about his whiskey and his Mario cup.
No, I like saying robot because of Futurama. That's a
Mhm.
Zoidberg one.
Well, we do have some news to go over, but
Did we talk
kinda
about Rick
ran
and
out of
Morty?
time that season 4 stuff is dropped.
What, Rick and Morty? No, like like they've been going through their, I guess, the second half of season 4,
Right.
and
Well-
they did this one episode called I think it's called like the Acid Vat episode or something like that. It is just amazing. If you guys haven't watched that, not watched this like the past season, try and catch it. Or if you're only going to watch one episode of it, watch the Acid Vat episode.
I don't think that's what it's called. Because I don't
It's-
remember an
it's-
episode called the Acid Vat episode.
It's literally it's something about. Hold on. You're the one Googling it right now, so I'm just gonna let you do it. Are you doing it? Or do I gotta do it?
You gotta do it.
All right. Really?
Yeah.
Damn you. That means I gotta focus. Oh God, I need new glasses. That's the worst thing of this pandemic. I need a new prescription.
Vat of Acid. The Vat of Acid. That literally might be the name of the episode. May 17th, 2020.
Oh,
Um,
it's brand new. That's why I haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Vindication. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Bad of Acid episode.
Yeah, that's brand new. Okay.
Boom.
I have not seen that
Yeah.
yet.
Well, that's 2 episodes ago. There's another episode that happened last week afterward. And the only thing that sucks about that show is that last week's episode was really good, really solid. But following that Vat of Acid episode, it's just not fair. That episode was so good. So I really recommend watching it. It's just I'm not going to spoil anything.
So that was Dave's final thought. Keegan, how about your final thoughts?
Yes.
Are we skipping news? So we're not going to talk about.
Yeah, we're already 2 hours into the show, so we'll
Um,
probably skip it.
My final thought is I'm glad I defeated Xehanort.
This has been weeks, maybe months in the.
Though it's only been a couple, probably been about 6 hours of actually fighting him. So
But it's taken weeks to get there.
because of my lack of time.
Weeks.
Mitchell, how about you? Final thoughts?
I need to finish Final Fantasy VII in
Yes, you
either
do.
iteration.
No, do the original first. Otherwise, the new one's not gonna make any sense.
Okay.
I mean, it'll make some sense, but a whole lot of it won't make any sense.
So does that mean I have to play the old one before I start the new
No,
one?
we'll explain.
So
it.
here,
Just-
yeah,
so-
either that or go watch a 40-minute YouTube catch-up video to see what all the story explanation is.
Okay.
But you will need that information before you play Final Fantasy VII, yes. Or remake. I mean,
Okay.
yes. Yes.
Okay.
Padre, sir.
Oh, I guess we're to me. Well, since we're not going to do any news, I have to do one piece of news, so that'll be my final thought. We are getting next week on the 4th of June, I almost said the 5th, at 1 p.m. Pacific, we are getting our first look at the games of the PlayStation 5. So far, that's all they've confirmed. Basically, there's been a state of play, not quite weekly, but almost weekly here, because we just had the state of play for Ghost of Tsushima, and then we had the state of play for Last of Us 2. Plus, we've been having the weekly Last of Us 2 introspectives, non-spoiler type things about the making of the game and the team behind the game and the philosophy behind it and stuff. So we'll be getting those. And now next week on Thursday instead of Wednesday, we'll be getting a look at it. So far, it's only stated that we'll be getting a look at the games of PlayStation 5. So it's not been set up that there's going to be any console or release or anything along that lines. Hopefully they actually are going to tack something in there, but minimally, if they're going to do a game display, hopefully they actually have some gameplay, unlike other events for certain consoles that advertise themselves as a gameplay event and then had no gameplay whatsoever.
Well, there was more gameplay in that Unreal Engine state of play thing than there was all of that Xbox conference.
Yes, there was. So we've been getting a pretty steady, constant feed between the two consoles and then the Unreal thing. We've been getting a pretty constant constant feed of information. So hopefully we're building up to something here where both of the companies are going to tell us, when and how much. Sony's been really recalcitrant to go first on anything though this year. So
big
really
word for
not
me being drunk.
recalcitrant.
Yeah,
Oh,
just repeat it, Dave. You'll be fine.
No,
Recalcitrant.
that just. Oh my god, that just.
Recalcitrant.
Recalcitrant.
Just trying to recall the definition in my brain.
Recalcitrant.
Oh,
It's recalcitrant.
Recalcitrant.
Keegan, don't confuse the poor man.
Shade of red.
oh.
Anyway, to go first on anything, so I really doubt we'll get any system information, but looking forward to seeing what they are going to show us. So that's a big look forward to next week for me.
I just hope they go back to proprietary expensive memory cards
No, that's only for handhelds.
as a nice throwback would be really cool, and I think people would love that.
I don't think you've been paying attention because that's pretty much what
They
it
actually
is.
kind of have.
It's
yeah.
called a SSD that you can only pretty much buy from them. So,
Oh, really?
wish
I was
granted. Yeah.
Oh, I was just,
No, it's like a super
just
fast
joking.
SSD. No, you got your
no.
wish.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just joking. I didn't really mean that.
Does that mean in the future you're going to be recalcitrant about making those kind of jokes?
God, I hate you.
What does that mean?
Wary, hesitant.
Look it up.
Okay. Mitchell's definition works for me.
For my final thought, I had one and now I forgot it because I was taunting Dave.
I ruined everything.
No, I remember what it was. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. East or 11 a.m. Pacific time, which would be 2 p.m.
9 o'clock.
Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern. Fortnite is having their world-ending event, most likely to lead up to the launch of Season 3. So if you want to be a part of that, you can do so by popping in
So
tomorrow.
this is the
at
new
that time.
whatever they did for the singularity
Black hole,
last time.
yeah,
This
the
is new
singularity.
singularity. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm understanding that they're queuing up people in groups of 50. So you want to get there a little before the start time and get your place in queue. So yeah, I'm interested to experience this for the first time. So I'll be interested to see how that goes down.
There's a dog.
It's a take on me, dog. It's kind of almost there, but not quite.
That's awesome.
Well, that brings us then to the part where we leave you with a sage piece of wisdom to carry you forward till the next time we meet. So take it away, Dave.
Okay, so I have a son. He's almost 5. So anybody that has, kids around that age knows that teaching them to go aim in the potty is apparently a problem. I've heard a lot of horror stories. Mine's not too bad, but they're just slobs. So my wife was, I was there in the room one time and she was getting annoyed with him and she's like, "You need to pay attention." And I said, "No, buddy, you need to pee attention." And he laughed his little ass off. But then my proudest moment, I was just like, whatever, and my wife turned, around and said, "That's your first dad joke." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess it is." But then tonight, he was going and she's like, "Remember, you got to pay attention." And he said, "No, mommy, I need to pee attention." And I just felt like I finally did something right in my life. So,
Not happy now. You have accomplished your life goals.
yeah, I'm good.
Until next time, game on.
Game
on.
Game on.
See, that's laughter when you have a funny one. What is going on with your head?
There's a dog dancing in and out of existence on his head.
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing.
The dog's training.
Nice. Was that like us to shut up a one?